I felt good that I had spent those few minutes with him to make him feel that he is cared for. His life is worth it and he needs to take care of it. I was able to make that little impact on him, at least is what I thought, and I felt good about that. Mention it clearly. I am disappointed. Use the words disappointed. I'm actually upset. I thought we could have done a better job, much better job. It's okay if we fail, that's fine. But do something different. Learning, application and openness to taking higher responsibility. I think when you do all these things, I tell you, 88 GBS automatically will be growing in its own way. And when that growth as a company and a business happens, each one of us here has got the greatest potential within you. Mind you, you have it in you.
Good evening, everyone. First of all, thank you everyone for gathering here today. This is an important evening. We have someone special in our office today to address all of us on emotional intelligence. I know you all must have been busy throughout the day doing a lot of things, and but now it's a refreshing session, not just for today, not just for this evening. I think whatever you guys are going to learn today in this session, I'm quite sure it's going to help you, or almost all of you, in rest of your career. So I think this is one of the important conversations. Before talking about the session, I would like to invite Mr. Senthil to our office.
Hello.
Just I would like to invite our performance marketing head, Shaili, to honor you with a
Thank you so much.
Thank you for considering our invite and
Sure.
coming up to 88 GB. So this is our team, and we really want your experience to be shared here in terms of you have consulted a lot of large corporates and you have met at least 10,000, 20,000 employees in your lifetime. Personally, you have consulted them. So we really want your experience today in how this is a very ambitious organization. We are like 30-35 people today, but we are aspiring to grow into our largest corporates, and we really want to make larger impact into the society. So we are a business solutions company, but right now it's not just about us, it's about every individual here.
Right.
We really want your experience of how all of these guys can transform into leaders in their careers. So I'm quite sure your words will make us this evening. So
Very good evening to all of you. Am I audible?
yes.
Okay. This is going to be a kind of an anticlimax to what Arjun was mentioning to you. Anticlimax because this is not a course on emotional intelligence. This is not some high funda concepts. It's not going to be any of that. This is going to be a conversation, discussion, questions, answers. It's going to be just interaction. So take it light, take it cool. That's my first point to you. At the end of the day, I know for sure you're the fag end of the day today, and I'm taking the last 2 hours of that particular day. So I know the energy level. So I'm now going to be making it very, very, what I would call as very friendly, interactive and engaging. More than anything else, I would love to hear your voices and understand what's going on within you whenever some question is being posed. Now, before you're going to be asking questions, this session is all going to be asking questions to you.
Sure.
I'm not going to be making any PPT presentations on models. These are some 3 critical factors, 5 different things which are going to manage your emotional intelligence. It's not going to be that. So with this preamble, I'm going to be beginning this program today. So thank you very much in the first place for making time to be here. It's great to be here in this setup. For the first time in so many years, I am seeing an open-ended office where the creators, the administrators, the program managers, all of you are sitting together, seeing each other. I think there cannot be a better setting than this for an organization to be able to see everyone in one shot. We see that different functions, different verticals are sitting in different places, And the most important challenge or the critical challenge that they face is we don't talk to each other, we don't interact with each other. Unless there is any requirement, I send an email, she replies back, and I need to choose whether I need to reply or not. We have not met for so many months or weeks or whatever. I don't think 88GB has got all that kind of a problems. Because you guys are there face to face, one-on-one, one-to-many. I think you guys are just there to interact and make things happen, right? If you don't push yourself, there is going to be no one else who is going to be pushing you. So that's what I see in the poster out there, and that makes a tremendous meaning out. I was telling Simi that every poster that I read anywhere in any of my client companies, I greatly get inspired by that. I think about it, I reflect about it, right? And this is a great thing that I'll take back when I'm returning from this office, okay? So without much ado, let me move on to this session. Now you can see the title here, it reads Decoding EQ for Success. Few things, these are the only few things that I will tell you in terms of some statistics. Statistics is that, we have all heard of IQ, right? We have heard of IQ tests, intelligence quotient tests that we all do during competitive examinations. The first job that I got, I had to write all this GMAT, GRE, TOEFL. I mean, everywhere you are being tested for IQ. And you know something? The IQ stops developing in each one of us by the age of 21, 22. It stops there. Whatever IQ you have grown to be at the age of 21 is what you have for the rest of your life. Your IQ doesn't change after that. Okay? This thing called EQ, emotional intelligence, research has established that you can develop and grow this even up to the age of 70 plus. So that's where the whole difference lies between IQ and EQ. And why are we talking about EQ today so much? I mean, why is this comparison? Why is EQ at all needed in the first place? I think day in and day out, if you ask somebody is going to say, so how are things in 88GB, or how are things in Blue Star, how are things in Bosch? The answer could be that, sir, every day is a new day here. Every day we learn something new. That's about the learning part. But every day brings in new situations as well to us. We're all going through situations, either here in office or in the outside or at home. We deal with situations, and situations means people, and people mean feelings and emotions. Generally, we're all kind of sort of intelligent. That's why we are gone to colleges, professional streams. We come out of it, we get into companies. Why is not everybody going up in the same rate of growth? Why are companies not growing at the same rate of growth? And only some are, able to make that cut in the top. That's because it's not about intelligence being different. Everybody is intelligent to some extent in the same level. All CEOs generally are intelligent. So what's the difference? The difference is in terms of how they have dealt with situations and people. That's where the emotional intelligence part comes. One of the Deloitte studies tells you that 60% of leadership success is coming out of your level of emotional intelligence. 60% of leadership success. It's not about what you know about that industry, it's about how you are dealing with situations. So those are the guys and girls who really make the cut to the top. Those are the ones who are able to deal with life challenges much more comfortably, much more assuredly, much more confidently, right? So that's the little, history behind or understanding about EQ. And before I get into definition, I think definition will be the last thing that I will get into, but let me start with this one question to begin with. When was the last time I felt good about myself? We come every day to our office, a lot of things, this client, that client, hey, have you done this? What about that? Have you followed up on this front? What happened to this? Yeah, I'm not able to crack this particular challenge here. I mean, would somebody help me? Hey, I need some help. I need support. Many things happen here. We go back late in the evening, go back home a little tired. Through the week, maybe Saturday and Sunday are the only time that we have work for ourselves, we get for ourselves. But all the other days, generally the talk is about work and many things, everything and everything other than about myself. So I'm going to be posing questions which is only going to be directed against you as a person. And I'm going to be dedicating this time for the next 1 to 1.5 hours towards throwing the spotlight not on me but on each one of you. And here we go. The first question in that line of series is, when was the last time I felt good about myself? And you know what? I would actually want you to, probably break up into groups and then take 5 minutes to just share with each other. Here we have how many people? 25? So let's.
I think some people there.
Okay. So let's make 5 groups. Just call 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 quickly. 1,
1, 2, 3, 4,
5. Okay, all ones together, all twos together, all threes, all fours together. Quickly, get on wherever you want to. Take up one corner. Take up various corners quickly and then start discussing this question. Done?
Yes.
Groups are done? Yes. Has everybody shared?
Yes.
Done? So get back to your seats. When you are sharing about yourself, when was the last time you felt good about yourself? Can some of you really come out and share that in the open now? Any of you put up your hand? Yes, please.
When I was in my teens, I used to be in the sports and all. So after my marriage and pregnancy and stuff, it's been a long time. I've taken a break for myself. A time for me was never happened. Last Saturday with Pardee's help, I was able to book a shuttle court and play out for 2 hours continuously.
Ah.
And just that feeling that I hold now. So
And you felt good about yourself.
I really felt good about that.
What did it make you feel good about yourself?
The still that spirit is there in me. That sportsmanship is there. I'm not a parent completely. I can still renew and renovate at any time.
Wow, great. Absolutely. Nice. Come on, let's hear more voices. More voices. Ukadne solunga. Talk.
Not a great thing, but this morning when I completed my complete circuit of workout, so I have not been doing it for a while. I have been skipping it, but today morning I have done the
Whole circuit.
Yeah,
Okay.
so
Oh, good. You felt good about yourself. That's nice. Few others. Yes, Durga.
Yeah. So I used to do yoga when I was I was in my place. When I came to for studies, I couldn't find time for doing it. And recently I restarted doing yoga and I felt good for myself.
Okay, good. Nice. One more, last.
So last Sunday, we had some time to ourselves in Coimbatore. We were visiting, and so because of that, we went to the gym. And I hadn't been to the gym, I think, in almost 4 months. So now when we went there and we went really hard, we did everything for 2-3 sets after, and we got really exhausted at the end, but we really felt satisfied at the end of that afternoon. And now I feel like there is momentum to go back and resume it here. So that made me feel really good.
Oh, wonderful. So that was kind of inspired you to now go for it more.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yes, Arjun.
So yesterday I was driving back from Coimbatore. So I mean, I really love my car because recently I've been traveling so much, and almost it's like a meditation for me when I'm driving the car, right? So what I felt yesterday was I was really happy about the fact that the freedom that I have, I can choose to go anywhere at any time. Being an entrepreneur, or nobody can stop me, or I don't have any kind of a restriction in terms of I decide today I can do it. So I think that freedom kind of felt like I was grateful about the fact that I am able to do what I want to do. That's something made me happy. Because someone was also asking, because I stopped the car in between and I went out. He was asking, why are you suddenly going? Because I wanted to take a break and do. So I really felt happy about the overall, because it was 3 o'clock in the morning, so we were driving back. So I was very tired, and at the same time it was very blissful also. Yeah.
Oh, great. Wonderful. So when you actually share this particular moment of feeling good about yourself, what does it do to you when you think today you got that opportunity to talk to each other and just share whatever you shared, right? What does it do to you when you start thinking about something that you felt good about? What is the impact of that in you? In what manner? It improves something about you in your own image. What is that? What do you think it could be?
Self-esteem.
Sorry?
Self-esteem.
Absolutely, right on the dot. It straight away impacts on your self-worth that you have about yourself. You call it self-esteem, self-regard. When somebody's self-regard goes up, what does it lead to?
Confidence.
Absolutely, confidence. When Arjun talks about freedom, the choice that he has got before him to do what he wants to, move wherever he wants to, talk, meet whoever he wants to. I mean, that gives you tremendous level of not only just self-esteem and value, but you're confident of just flowing, right? You're on a flow. You're really pushed into a flow state, That's what happens. That's one of the important ingredients of what we call as EQ, right? We'll come to those things at a later time. And I must tell you, in case we are not able to finish it today, maybe some other day also I will be here to take the balance course or whatever. So this is going to be a kind of a continuous process, not a one-shot exercise. EQ cannot be built in one day, right? Anyway, so that's the first thing. When was the last time I felt good about myself? Can be also of some nature, like I have my own example. If I have to give you, the other day in my housing complex, we got the security watchman. He got a seizure, because of which he fell ill on one of the night shift days, and he had to be taken to the hospital and all that. And I came to know about it. After about a week or so, he rejoined duty, and that day when I was just going out, he was on duty. So I stopped by and I generally asked him, how are you now? How are things? And you need to take care of yourself. You got a family. I asked him about their family and stuff like that. So I felt that he should really take care, because his family is dependent on him, and this is the only job that he is earning from. So he needs to keep his health properly. So I told him to spend some time with him before I left him and took my vehicle and went out. I felt good that I had spent those few minutes with him to make him feel that he is cared for. He is cared, his life is worth it, and he needs to take care of it. I was able to make that little impact on him, at least is what I thought, and I felt good about that. So I'm saying there are a host of things that we can feel good about, from playing to doing yoga after a long time to going for that massive workout, and even when driving, getting that feeling, all these things. But all that I'm saying is, pause to reflect on such moments more and more. The more you celebrate such moments, the more you're actually building on your self-esteem. Simple as that. This is no great shakes. This is not some recipe or ingredient that you got to go to YouTube and learn about. It's all about what I can do about myself. That's all I'm saying. Okay, so that's the first question that you're going to be asking yourself. Second one, am I working to the best of my ability? Am I working to the best of my ability? This is a straight answer. I'm giving my best, sir. Whatever it is. Now I'm giving my whatever I can. I'm doing my best. Performance appraisal, I did fantastically well. Outstanding performance. Really touch our hearts and talk about it. Are we giving our best every day? There can be n number of reasons. N number of reasons. I may be part of this team, and I'm a newcomer to the organization, and I don't know. Yeah, I've been introduced to a few people. I'm not sure whether I can go and talk to Shaili, I can talk to Farid. I'm not sure. They have been here in the system. Can I ask this question? Something is, holding me back. I'm going back home, and my uncle comes home and says, hey, Senthil, you joined this company today, no? How is it going? For the last 1 week you have been there. How is it going? Yeah, it's very nice. I'm enjoying this. I'm in a very exciting place, nice place, this, that, and all that I say. But am I saying the truth? Maybe it's a good place, but to this question, am I flowing to the full? Am I going and asking people what I need to ask and seeking the help or support or wanting to know, clarify, understand? Am I holding myself back for some reason? Everything is not offered to us on a platter in this world, right? We need to go seek. If you seek, you will get it. If not now, sometime later. But are you seeking? Are we taking a step forward and moving? Or are we just waiting for things to happen and come to me? I asked Grini this question, let her come back to me. Suppose, let's say, that 3 days have gone by and she has not responded. No, I'm just waiting for her to answer. That's not the answer. If I need it, I need to follow up with her. Nothing wrong. So, am I flowing? That's what I'm saying. My best is about getting the information that I need. Am I going after it? So, the point here is the one with mind of a continuous improvement orientation is not going to rest with where one is already. It will always seek something that needs to be done to complete or to learn or to experience on the move. Your mind is on the move to make things happen. If your mind is not on the move to make things happen, we are not on a flow. If you're not on a flow, then I'm not working to the best of my ability. Ability is fantastic. Each one of us here has got the greatest potential within you. Mind you, you have it in you. But are you choosing to tap it? It's there within. It's like a gold mine. It has got to be tapped from within. And who gives a permission for that? Who gives a permission for that? Arjun? Or your mom, dad, spouse, brother, good friend? You're the boss. You are your own boss. Yeah, life has brought us together, and Zaman is my boss because he's the chief and just joined this company. That's all okay. But what I need to choose to do, depending upon the priorities and where I need to move, I need to be there mentally. So, the best is all about being on a flow. If you believe within you, no, I'm going, coming, every day I'm going, doing something, getting back in the evening every day is like another day, then the answer to this will definitely not be yes. It will be a no. So think about it. I want you to think and reflect on these things. Am I on a flow? That's a simple question that I want you to answer yourself all the time. Am I on a flow? It's okay. Sometimes you're going to be low. It's okay. Take it. No problem. It's not that you should always be on a high or an excited, motivated time. You're all human beings. There are times and it'll be like that. That's fine. Allow it to pass. I'm saying today I'm not doing anything here. There are days when I'm like that. Morning I don't feel like doing anything. Just go lie down. I'll tell my wife I want to go sleep. But I'll never get a sleep actually. But I'll just be lying down. I will decide not to do anything. That's all. Allow it to pass. Then you gather yourself back at some point of time, and there are ways of getting yourself back quickly as well. That's something which I'll talk about it later. I'm just saying that the question that you need to ask yourself is, am I on a flow? Am I on a flow at this point of time in my life? Personal or professional? Both ways. Because these are they complete us. The personal phase and the professional phase is what our life is all made of, right? I can't say, that's different, this is different. But the fact that you are the same man, same individual. Unfortunately or fortunately, I carry the same characteristics of the workplace. I can be a little more molded, masked when I'm at a workplace, because you can't be your true, natural self. At home, I can probably yell at, that also is not right by today's standards, but the fact is, I can afford to get angry at some time. I can afford to be lazy. Those are all the privileges of a psychological, safe environment at home, not in the office. So, that's the only difference. Otherwise, we are the same individual, right? So that's the point. Do you get what I'm trying to tell here? Any questions, any point that you would like to put to me on this aspect? Not at the moment. Okay. So the question is, who am I? I remember my campus, before the campus recruitment in my institution, we had to prepare for the interviews. The day one leavers is coming, Tata Administrative Services are coming, and so many other FMCG and good companies, names are all going to be there on campus. What kind of questions? I need to prepare myself, right? And one of the questions that normally gets asked, and I'm sure many of you will have gone through the same thing, tell us something about yourself. Right? Very normal question. Now, do you think this is a question that you can just like that answer? Can you answer this question? Tell me something about yourself. Just all of us can answer, but do you think that will be the best answer? So what I did was I actually took down a piece of paper and wrote it. Where will I begin about myself? Where will I stop till date? But within this distance, what are those things that I will highlight with examples? What are those aspects about me which I need to speak about? Because they're only asking to know about me. I need to tell something which will make them understand who this Senthil Kumar is. So it has got to be prepared. I needed to prepare it. And I prepared it. I spoke or whatever, all those things were there. But the point I'm coming back is, so many years of experience, this and that, asking this question, still I'm struggling with this question. Who am I? I'm struggling with this question. Who am I? Do you think you will have a perfect answer to this? Not that you need to find a great answer. It's not that. Describe yourself. Where will you start? What will you tell about you? Do you understand you in the first place? Do we understand ourselves? Who am I? I know certain things, but I have to deeply reflect on me as to my patterns of behavior during various points of time. This is how I behave. If somebody questions me, I get very angry. Who is he or she to question me? That's a repeated pattern that I have. I'm anxious. I'm very compassionate. What do we make out of yourself as the person? Who am I? Now this question is important because this is very key towards making you understand and realize in the workplace what you should be and what you should not. If you don't answer this question, you will never know. It will be a blind spot. Okay. So these are questions which put you in a spot to think about you. Who is this Arjun? Who am I? Who am I? There are perceptions. You don't have perception about various people. What's your perception about yourself? What do you think?
So that's like a very tough thing to answer, right?
It's like an audit of sorts.
Yeah, I think we are all chasing that answer. Individually.
Are we consciously chasing is my question. All chasing, yes, or broadly, yes, but are we consciously thinking about this? Each of these questions out here is my question to you. On that question is, are we thinking on these lines? That's the point. Because it can make a world of difference to you in all these questions. When was the last time I expressed my happiness or disappointment to someone? Can you go back now to the same groups? Yes.
Putting in constant efforts, breaking my head, and I thought I should never give up my passion, so that I kept running, and then I quit my last job due to personal reasons. And when I called my parents on a video call and told them that, see, this time also I didn't fail you, I finally got a job. They were in tears, and that really made me proud, them proud, and even that made me like super happy, elevated and everything.
Wonderful, wonderful, great. Who would like to share next?
In my personal life, there is happened some good things in my personal life. I couldn't tell this, so I shared my happiness with Paridhi, and it happened 2 weeks before. Disappointments I expressed to Shaili yesterday. She keeps telling me changes in design from last Thursday to this Monday. So I'm in state to face Shaili. I'm disappointed with you. Yeah, that's the last time
Oh, you told her?
Yeah, I told her.
You told her?
Yes. I'm not happy with your feedbacks.
I'm
just
disappointed
directly told her.
Excellent, excellent, fantastic. Yeah. Though he didn't tell what the happiness was about, the other thing he told about, but the happiness part you didn't mention. Yes. Does it happen normally that we express happiness to somebody? I'm feeling damn good here, I'm feeling excited. Similarly, I mean, yeah, it could be for different people, different experiences. Yeah.
Happiness. Okay.
Happiness, yes.
So the company, I joined this company. So that's a surprise for them. They know I am trying to get a job, but suddenly I got this job, and in a one day I just called to my parents and told to them I got a job, and they cried. On this age, it's a big thing for me. Also, it's a big thing for them also. So that's a big happiness happens in my this age.
Wonderful, wonderful.
And
Yeah, go on.
yes, I'm the guy who getting disappointed by little things. Because of this work, I get some down from my work, like not approved by Paradise. That's make me disappointed.
You are disappointed with him?
Yeah, because of
That's very clear. Very clear to all of us without your expressing itself.
that's my disappointment happens in this recently.
Okay, good. Thank you so much. Thank you. You want to say something?
So see, sometimes, not many times, I get disappointed by the way, like, I expect something and that doesn't happen in the company, and sometimes I try to understand that it's not possible always. But recently, like, I was a little overwhelmed, and like I got really disappointed, and I expressed it to Grinny that the team, I have a lot of bet on the team. They can do really better, and especially like this recently happened during Women's Day. That I was expecting something from the team. It was a great idea, but they were not able to execute the way I was expecting. In fact, I cried in the night. So I was very disappointed because I came back after a long time, but I was seeing it and I was very disappointed. So then I thought, what should I do now? So what happened? Like, I sat myself around 2:30, 3 o'clock in the night, and I completed something and I've sent it to the client in the morning, 7 o'clock, and from 8 o'clock till 10 o'clock, client back to back called me and appreciated for that work.
Okay.
So it was kind of a disappointment that turned into an happiness.
Okay.
So again, I called Grinny and I said, I am expecting this from the team, and I think everybody can do it. Like, I'm not somebody who is a magician. I can, whatever I do, I'm very well, I know that everybody in the team can do. So that was like I was extremely I usually don't get disappointed. I mean, because recently team is performing really well, but that one moment, so for no reason, I was extremely disappointed. It was not that bad of a work also.
Right.
But somewhere, like, I was very deep hurt. I thought, like, we can do better. So then it happened, and next day it turned to be like extremely a happy moment. So
Excellent.
then also I expressed him.
Oh.
Working. And the video, personally, the CMD of the client, the CMD called,
Oh.
and he was appreciated it so many times, and I said it's acknowledged.
To that, clap. Wonderful. You know, what it is telling me is, especially from the last example that Arjun gave, suppose he had not expressed the disappointment with you. Suppose he had not expressed that. You have submitted something, he has seen some work. He is upset internally or he is disappointed, but he chooses not to speak anything. What would that mean to the people who have put up that work? He said, okay. He doesn't say anything. What does it mean to you all, to the ones who produce that work? What will they get to understand about what he thinks about that work? Would they know anything at all? You get what I'm asking? What will they make of it? What is it? He is not
very happy. Like,
maybe he's not very.
appreciation on it.
Maybe he's not very happy. Somebody may say, what yaar, you saw this thing, you're not telling anything also. I mean, anybody can think anything. But the fact that he expressed his disappointment means that it has fallen short of his expectation. The team here would have come to know that the standard that he thinks of us is higher. We have the potential, that's why he thought like that. Maybe for some reason we fell short. We need to improve upon that. That simple message of wanting to live up to somebody's expectation, which is at a different level than what we thought it is. It's a clear feedback, right? If that feedback he had not given it in the form of his expressing his disappointment, I would have never known. I would have gone in the same way in which I have produced my work. Unless you express something, nobody is going to understand you, right? Disappointment is an emotion. Happiness is an emotion. Is anger an emotion? Yes or no? Yes. Good emotion, bad emotion? What are good emotions? What are bad emotions? Is disappointment bad emotion? Is frustration bad emotion? Is that being upset bad emotion? Is being overwhelmed bad emotion or good emotion? There's nothing called good or bad emotions. Emotions are human emotions, period. For example, if, Simi comes and gives me one, I'd asked her to, let's say, make a proposal for a client. And I told her, given her a brief and everything. And she comes to me after about 5 days. She says, yeah, I've done this. I'm going through this, and that's a D-Day. That's the last date when I'm supposed to come back to them with a proposal on what they had asked for. And I'm seeing that quite a few things have been missed out. Now I can react in very different ways. I can just show my frustration or anger, upset, disappointment, whatever you may call it, all this mix of feelings that I'm going through at this moment, because that is such an important proposal to go, and I don't have the time to really sit and work on it at this moment. So I can say, what kind of a thing have I brought it here? Simi, you've done this before so many times. Is it the way to do this? No, I thought you would do a much better job here. This is not the way. I'm sorry. I just walk off. Now, that is one way of reaction. Such a reaction, what it would have done to her? My body language, my tone, tenor, the way I expressed myself, would it have left any constructive image in her, or what would she be feeling, do you think?
She probably felt bad about herself or felt low about herself.
Felt low about the way I spoke, I gave it. What I had told, probably she may not be in disagreement with that. But the way in which I kind of trashed her, made her feel small about it, she may not have felt very good about it. Instead, I'm saying, Simi, how come, I know you're capable, and every time you do some fantastic proposals. What happened to you? I didn't expect this from you. I definitely did not expect this from you. If you needed any help, you could have spoken to me earlier itself. Today is the last date. Even now, maybe between 3 and 5, if you got some time, I'm free at that time. Would you want to come and talk to me on that, and we can together work and finish it, send it off? Is it okay? Inside of me, I'm angry, I'm disappointed, but for me, the idea is not to get angry and shout at her. The idea is to send the proposal to the client. That is what is the ultimate objective and intention. So what's the point in shouting at her? So I need to modulate or moderate the way in which I express my emotion to anybody, especially the ones which are not very pleasing to the other person, particularly then. But mention it clearly. I am disappointed. Use the words disappointed. I'm actually upset. I thought we could have done a better job, much better job. I know you're all capable. So the point here is, emotional expression is a very, very important characteristic of emotional intelligence. How do you express your emotions in a constructive manner? Joy, frustration, anger. Anger can be very constructively, demonstrated. But all that we know, the way in which anger means immediately somebody is shouting, somebody is doing something which is like it's a collateral damage around you. That's it. That's what we all think. That's what we have seen, many people like that. But you can actually tailor the anger in a very, very constructive manner. That's why, expressing your disappointment or anger or being upset in a very constructive way is what EQ is all about. Happiness, again, like that, similar things. Okay? Any questions around that? Sorry. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Do I share or express my views without being afraid of others' reactions, personally or professionally?
This is like a very difficult.
Everybody's scared of being judged.
I think I feel, as someone running the company, I feel this is the most difficult thing personally for me I was not able to probably give the right things to even if it's a client or even some employees. So somewhere that afraid is there. I feel I will not deny it, and I am still working on it. But being judged for how the way we speak, or should be, because I also understand, again going back to the last question, that when you don't like something, I also read that we should not sugarcoat it also. You are a great person, but why are you not, the way you said, I was because that because sometimes recently I try to be very straightforward. If I don't like something, I don't like something. So I think that kind of has worked out also slightly better. But though internally I feel like little bad about reacting that way, but I feel it's a challenge that I'm also facing.
Okay. No, got it. So that's, when I think Rini, you mentioned fear of being judged. You're saying something about it.
Initially, when I joined this marketing field,
Huh.
I have a group of creative people around me. Then I used to really feel scared of expressing my ideas. I feel, will this be sounding dumb, or what will people think about me? Am I being too repetitive or old-fashioned? All that was into my head previously. Then after that, as per this question, that fear is there. So I should not be judged by others. Though that thought will always be inside. When you express your ideas, or especially in a creative group, I think twice before speaking.
Yeah.
That is always there.
It's actually, it is important that we think about where we are, to whom we are talking. All that is required before you express yourself. And it's not a question of ready-made solution or a thing that is there, how much I should sugarcoat or how much I should really be very direct. You can be direct, but not potentially intensified direct. In that case, some people can really trash a person and completely destroy and demolish a person straight away. I can be direct in saying, I'm actually not happy with the work that you have brought in, but telling it in a very calm way. That's where the question of how you express yourself is very important. Now coming to this, fear of being judged, fear of being evaluated as somebody who, what does he or she know about this, or giving some expert comments on this. I know what it is, I'm the specialist in this. So the question is, how do we tune and calibrate ourselves in situations where you need to express? You are there in the meeting room because you are an important person. It's not that you're sitting there as somebody who's just a part and it's like a fixture. No. When you're in a meeting, everybody has got thoughts, everybody has got views, and everybody has got feelings. You can express it in the most appropriate way if you have to. Some people say, actually I'm not sure, I'm not an expert on this, but to me as a layman, this is what I feel about this, period. That's fine. You have protected yourself adequately by saying that. So that's a way of putting it across. Sir, I'm not too sure, but I need to, can I say something? Yeah, please go ahead, Senthil, please. Then you say, you actually get a license to speak. If I'm somebody who's always very hesitant to talk in meetings, one of the easiest things that we can do is, can I say something? Take the permission from the group itself. There's nothing wrong in that. Yeah, please go ahead, Shaili. Nobody is going to stop you, right? So all this is about how much of balanced nuance you are learning about conducting yourself. How do you really respond to situations? That's what it is all about. These questions makes you understand those situations where you need to deal with yourself in a lot more balanced way, and that is not something that we'll get in one shot in life. He was saying, Arjuna was saying, I'm working on it. We're all work in progress. Nobody is a finished product. But in your own personal relationships also, we are sometimes very hesitant to talk to that very important person in our life as well. Close friend or your spouse or your girlfriend, boyfriend, whoever, whatever. If I ask, will the person explode? Or when I give my view which may be different from his or her view, will there be an explosion or a volcano eruption? So how do you really address that in a relationship? Whether it's in the workplace, between colleagues, or in personal relationship, like from the point of view of how do you make the other person comfortable to speak to you? When you think there is some discomfort in the people, they are not really opening up. This person is not opening up with me. What can you do? Who's to do about that? Something about that. You can listen provided the other person speaks. No, the other person not speaking at all. How do you make the other person speak is the question. Open up and speak. What can we do? Simplest thing. Who can give the comfort to the other person to speak freely? Myself, right? See, whatever you think, tell me, don't think that I'm your father or something. Please speak to me. Tell me, no issues, no problem, nothing, don't worry. So we need to understand what's going on within me that is stopping me from flowing in my life. There are reasons which can be a constraint. You can't do because it's slightly beyond your control and you can't do anything about it. But there are many things that are within my control. And normally do not allow my feelings or emotions. Yes or no?
Depends on the context.
How many say yes to it? Are there any people who say yes to this question? Now this is a journey to be undertaken, but it will take some time for everyone. It's not very easy. But I do not know. In my own life I would say that wherever I have had my and judgment being impacted by emotions. There have been instances that have been deeply impacted negatively by this. I mean, it is not like the right judgment. I realize that it is not the right judgment that I made, but important decisions. It's career change or people, relationships, whatever. So the point here is, I tend to become better the next time. Similar situation if it comes the next time. I'm much more careful, much more. I don't allow my judgment to get affected by what I'm feeling. I still want to understand the facts behind stuff. I want to understand the data. I want to understand what exactly is the ground situation before I come to some conclusion. It happens recently also, I keep interviewing people for a few of my clients. Sometimes my unconscious bias comes in and I think that this candidate is not going to be okay. But the moment I start asking questions, I start listening to him fully, the whole thing completely changes. Finally, it has happened in the last 1 month, at least 2 candidates, I felt that at the end of the interview, I felt they are extremely good candidates. But I was starting with the bias on my own. I was actually getting to confirm my bias in terms of he saying something, and so I'll say, I know that this is how it is. But actually, my listening helped me to completely understand the person in the right perspective. I was able to form the right evaluation of that person and then take it forward the next step. But that is still happening to me is what I'm trying to do. So I'm not saying it's very easy. That's why I'm saying this is a long journey. It's going to take some time. But we need to be conscious of this. That's the point.
What do I have to do to understand myself better?
Okay, I would say that, straight away, being in this line, we have something called EQI 2.0. It's a model and a concept that has been today the most revered, respected model, which has been propounded by an Israeli psychologist and being profusely used across to bring in self-awareness of people on various aspects about themselves. It could be their emotional self-control, it could be about their assertiveness levels, it could be about their level of optimism, it could be a level of empathy that you carry within yourself, it could be about emotional problem solving ability that you have about yourself, it could be about your interpersonal relationship capability that you hold within you. There are about 15 factors. So when you honestly answer those questions, you can see yourself in the mirror there. That's the way it is. So that is one way to definitely do that. The other way is to also do a 360-degree feedback, which is about getting feedback from my friends, about my colleagues, my parents, my whoever is there in your life. Tell me something about Zaman. What do you think is his strengths? What do you think is one of those 2-3 things that you think he needs to change about himself? That's an outside-in perspective. But the one that I said earlier is a inside-out perspective, because you know yourself the best. You are telling the truth about you in that. That's the truth that people know outside of you. 360-degree feedback. So, it's like, both are good to be used together. But for starters, and definitely for sure, the EQI 2.0 is a great tool to really go through to understand yourself better. Any other questions?
How do I tell someone that they are not good at communication when they think they are great? When it comes to soft skills or communication skills, they think they are great. That is acceptable. But if I go confront them or something like that, they stutter or they are stuck there where they won't be able to answer anything properly, not proper closures or something like that. And even if we tell that, they are not able to accept it. They still defend that I am great at communication. I can still talk and fight back.
Okay. So here is the case where somebody thinks great about themselves in terms of a certain skill. Here it is about communication. And you know for sure that they are actually not good at that. When you go and give a feedback to them, they still don't accept it. How do you really make them understand? Am I right? Okay. There is something called as SBI approach. Situation, behavior, impact. Suppose you come and tell me, and I'm just hypothetically going to give a situation for you. You are coming and telling me, Senthil, we had that meeting the other day and you did a presentation, right? And you did a presentation after so-and-so from the other department presented with very clear facts and data. And in your presentation, you weren't giving any data actually, but you are giving a lot of statements, general statements without any data. And they were completely opposite of what the other person had presented. Am I right or wrong? Is what you will ask me. Yeah, that's right. I made a presentation. I think I did a damn good presentation. Then you're saying, you know what? In your presentation, because you didn't have data correctly, and you were saying something very opposite of what the data was saying, which the other person had presented, our entire point that we wanted to make in this whole meeting completely fell through. And you could learn it from the body language of our vice president who was listening to all these things. He called me after the meeting and he said, please make your presentation henceforth data based. Don't come out with such statements which have no meaning without being backed by data. The impact now is for us to prove once again that, we are saying something with clear evidence, which are factual and which are researched out very well. That's what I think we need to do. We need to change this perception now in the VP's mind that we are no good at presenting what we need to be presenting. That's what you tell me now. Okay? What do you think has happened in this? You have spoken about a situation, you spoke about my behavior, you spoke about the impact. Can I deny any of these things? If after all this, if I say something, no, that's not the point. Then, you know what the problem is? It's my attitude. Then that's clearly the attitude. You can only say this much, and this is the evidence base. This is clearly a feedback giving mechanism called SBI approach. Very, very powerful, very simple, but very powerful. So to anybody, if you're giving especially tough feedback, try to follow this principle. That'll be very useful.
Thank you.
ஸோ இப்போ ஒர்க் பண்ணுற இடத்துல ஃப்ரெண்ட்லியாகவும் வாமாவும் இருக்கிறது பிரச்சனை இல்லை, பட் வாட் இஃப் இட் காஸ் த டிஸ்ரெஸ்பெக்ட் அண்ட் நாட் கெட்டிங் ஒர்க்ஸ் டன்? ஸோ அதை எப்படி டேக்கிள் பண்ணி பவுண்டரி செட் பண்ணி அந்த இதை எப்படி மூவ் பண்ணுறது?
Warm and friendliness does not mean that's an open arena where you'll just go hug everybody every day. The respectful distance must be kept with anything and everybody. தேவையில்லாத போய் மூக்கு நோட்சிக்கிறதுன்னு சொல்லுவாங்க தெரியுமா? Don't put your nose in every subject that is happening. Hey, what is this? Come on. You have a role to play. Stay with it. But if there is going to be a common occasion like this, coming and talking to each other, friendly, nice. We are not met here for a long time, I've been so sorry. I've been held up in a project for the past 2 weeks. Everything, how are you doing? What's up? What's happening? What's going on? அப்படி பேசல ஒன்றும் தப்பே கிடையாது. You should know the distance and respectful distance. That is something which is not given in textbooks, nor will anybody able to see. But the point is, warm and friendly also goes with firm and seriousness. Keep that in mind. Warmth and friendliness is on the one side. Balancing it with firmness and seriousness is important in life. Both are important. Depending upon the situation, you need to know to what extent you can exercise both these things. ஒரேடியா இந்த பக்கம் சாஞ்சிங்கன்னா it's not good. ஒரேடியா இந்த பக்கம் போனீங்கன்னா it's not good. It's a question of how do you balance that.
So sometimes we have to be serious.
Yeah, of course. Serious is a good quality, there's nothing wrong in that. எப்போ சீரியஸா இருக்கணுமோ அப்ப நீங்க ஃப்ரெண்ட்லியா இருந்து, எப்போ ஃப்ரெண்ட்லியா இருக்கணும் அப்ப சீரியஸா இருக்கணும், உங்க எல்லாரும் தப்பா புரிஞ்சுக்குவாங்க கம்ப்ளீட்டா. அது எப்போ அப்படி இருக்கணுங்கிறது உங்களுடைய ஜட்ஜ்மெண்ட்.
This question will be almost the same as Jaya asked. How to break the mindset or the barrier which is created when we have reached the state where we say nothing more better can be done than this. But I have the second thought, like half of me is saying this is good, but half of me is saying I'm doubtful about that. So how to be confident on that and work on it more?
It's about yourself.
Yeah.
As an individual, suppose I'm saying that what I'm doing now is good, maybe there is something better I can do, helping me or encouraging me to do something better.
Yes.
I'm stuck in that point where I'm constantly saying this and that also.
Yeah.
I'm saying that, I'm good. பண்றதெல்லாம் நல்லா தான் நம்ம பண்றோம், ஒன்றும் இல்லை, இதுக்கு மேலே என்ன பெருசாக வேண்டி கிடக்குது. And somewhere there's another voice that is saying, maybe I can do something better. I'm kind of stuck.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying, right?
Exactly.
So, I'll put it this way. What do you want to be? Do you have any thoughts on who you want to be? What you want to be? I want to be the best. I want to be the best player in the team. Or I want to be the best that I can be in my life. The answer to your question, are you best that you can be, enna answer irukkondikinga?
I wouldn't say.
You wouldn't say that, right?
Yeah.
So that means there is a The cup is not full, there is some empty space in that. You need to fill it up further. So my question to you is, you ask yourself the question, what do I want to be? Try to find an answer for that. Suppose you are saying that I need to have excitement in my life, I need to be doing more and maybe take on higher responsibilities. இது போதுமா அப்போ? இது நான் இப்போ இப்படி இருக்கிறது நல்லா தான் இருக்குன்னு எனக்கு தோணுது, ஆனால் அது பத்துமா? Is it enough for me to reach what I want to reach, provided I've understood what I want to do? That's my first question that you need to ask yourself is, what do I want to do? My workplace or personally, how do I want to be? We need to constantly keep running to be in the same distance, like in a treadmill. Today we are all on a treadmill. Even to be in the same place, you need to constantly keep running, but you are not moving anywhere. You are actually in that same treadmill only. But if you want to make a move forward, I need to go out and try out new things, different things, and then make progress. So that depends upon the appetite and thirst I have in terms of what I want to become. So you need to ask yourself the question, what do you want to become? Do I have any? Not thought about it now, then better start thinking about it. Because if you leave yourself like this, you'll stay where you are. And as I said, the curve will start going down. Try to find some clarity in your mind. What do I actually want to become? Talk to somebody. Talk to some coach, talk to somebody, some good friend of yours, some sounding boards. Today that's where life coaches come in. You will at least be helped towards getting clarity in terms of arriving at something that you want to become, if you don't have anything at the moment. Because without any aspiration, if you live in life will not take us very far. We will get to know about it at a later time. So better start asking these questions. What do I want to be in life? If I want to be at my best, I can really bring out much more things from me. I do not know what is there in me, first of all. So let me first try and see, put myself in a situation where I can bring out something new and discover myself. That thirst must be there. That appetite must be there. And the appetite varnuna na enna vaahunungadha therinjadana enakku the appetite varum. Only when Arjun knows that he has to build this company here, will he really go for it and get everybody involved in making it happen, right? If he doesn't have a vision or a goal, then we can all come and go every day. So first we need to get clarity on what we really want to become. I know yosikla, but let me try and figure it out. Understand that. What would actually make meaning to me in my life? Let me understand that. That's a process. Then the appetite will come. Automatically you'll get the hunger, you'll get the appetite. Nobody can stop you after that. You will run. Okay.
Just extending to the same, probably, the answer would be the continuation of what where you have left. You must have seen larger organizations and larger crowds with maybe more departments, right? Like, so I would like to hear some words from you in terms of a small unit like this, but aspirations are big. Like, I am seeing everybody in this room to be leading larger teams probably 5 years down the lane, or that's how I think. That's how at least I want to think. Though there is, even if there is no possible things that I can see in my vicinity, but I still think that's where probably as a company or as how we have founded this, that's where I look at. I see potential in everyone, and I really want a lot of people to get into where I am, like, because though that's the expectation at least. And many points that we have touched upon today is more about chasing excellence and how we can be better at ourselves. So now, most of the people here in this room at least are not very experienced. Let's say they have not done, probably they are average less than 5 years experience. Some people are more than that. So for a crowd like this, because it's a very long-term game, right? I am also slowly understanding it. Initially when I started, I didn't see this, this game is long, this company is going to survive for next 20 years or 15 years. But now I'm starting to think. So considering that, I am also putting myself calm and probably looking for that sustainable growth rather than rushing every single day. So I have that in mindset. So now I need a team which is future leaders, lot of people. Now we have 4 or 5 people who are aligned in that, and they are pushing along with me. Now I want more team to get into that vision. For somebody like that, what would you say, in your comparison with larger organizations, larger leaders, probably larger revenues? You can compare maybe an Infosys or a Tata, or a larger company with so many stakeholders, but still the company is consistently growing. Probably the founder himself does not have control over a lot of things, but the culture that he or she has created is going for decades together. I really see this company going in that direction, right? For a foundation like this, people in this room, what they should listen, like how they can become future leaders.
One thing that can help them to really grow and maybe grow along with 88GB itself is the urge to learn application oriented. Learn new things, because in your line the rate of change is very high. The rate of newness that is happening in terms of applications, technology is all phenomenally very fast. So can you learn new things more and start applying those things in as relevant to the context that you're working in? Number one. So constant learning, because otherwise you'll become obsolete. One will be rendered obsolete if you're not out there. Always keep sharpening the saw. Keep on sharpening the saw so that it never fails to cut. It has to always cut, which means you need to keep sharpening your saw all the time. Being open to taking up responsibilities, because without responsibilities that you take, suppose there's an opportunity that's coming up to take some responsibility, or you're being given some additional role to play, use it as an opportunity to discover a capability within you which you have not seen earlier. If you don't give yourself that opportunity, you will never know. So look for opportunities within the organization or you can create those opportunities within the organization. Sir, I can do this. I've learnt about this thing in a certain way. Can I try it out here? Do that experiment and show. It's okay if we fail, that's fine. But do something different. Learning, application, and openness to taking higher responsibility. I think openness to taking newer and newer responsibilities, not even higher responsibilities, newer and newer responsibilities. That is where you're going to keep yourself relevant and also as a very critical resource for any organization. When you do all these things, and I tell you, 88GBS automatically will be growing in its own way. And when that growth as a company and a business happens, each one of you will be growing then. Learning, application, creating opportunities for discovering your capabilities. That's what it is.
Taking new responsibilities.
Amazing. Well, three things.
So these are like, have you seen these things in common like with larger companies? Because I always wonder whenever I see someone, irrespective of whether it is a funded company or it is bootstrapped, like built brick by brick, how is it possible? Because I have a own set of challenge when managing a limited team. I always look up to how do they do it? Like what made them probably run an organization with 6,000 people, 10,000 people, but still they are growing consistently, innovating consistently, because it's not just one brain that's working. It's like collectively thousands of brains that are working together to take things step by step ahead. So that's like, as someone in this company, like I'm very curious about that fact. So that's why I always ask people like you.
No, great, Arjun. That's, as a founder, I really appreciate the fact that you're putting this question across. And this is on behalf of each one of the people that is there around this hall, that you're asking this question. And it's a great value for everybody here to know that what is it that's going to sustain my growth in my career ladder as I move forward in my life. And that is something which they needed to understand. I think you have provided an opportunity for me to also share what I think works in such an environment. As a startup which is growing to make its own place under the sun, I think these building blocks of learning, application and new opportunities, I think this is what one needs to be looking at.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
So I'm mostly going to ask this question on behalf of a lot of these new people that are joining our organization now. And I sort of had some experience now with seeing people across multiple organizations who have reported to me in various circumstances, various situations. There is a problem of too much opportunity. A lot of people, like over the last 5 years, everyone says the same thing, which is growth mindset, try new things, find projects which are closer to the objectives of management. Very valuable things to do, of course. When someone is building their career, that is very important. However, I have seen the blind side of this as well. And I'm asking, how can I create an environment for my reportings or the juniors in our company or the etc., where they are able to do things not only which are right for them, but for their company. And by which I mean that when people are stuck in chasing the new shiny object, what often happens is the things which are necessary to do, which are not perhaps that shiny, the hard work, the things that some of us tend to be like, this is common stuff, I don't need to do this. This is too hard and it's not going to get the recognition. But that work needs to be done, because if it does not get done, the building falls down below it. So and I see this more if I want to just simplify this for the individual and not the organization, it becomes a matter of I'm always going to jump on the new opportunity that has come. I have tried 70 things, I have failed in 63, and I have not done the 7 things that I should have done, which were in the original part of my job description. So how does one counteract for that, which is the shiny object syndrome?
Great question. I would answer it. I wouldn't call it philosophy, but it is very, very reflective of the ground level reality. I've believed and I've also come in that route of looking at how life has been for me in the past. I'm talking about myself. So many years of experience and all that. Life is a marathon which consists of its own phases that you have gone through, and in each of the phase you have kind of acquired skills, capabilities, and then you suddenly discovered that you could do something new and different, and you thought you had the skills, so you jumped into it and you found that yes, I'm able to do that. So which means you're taking yourself to the next higher level. Kept on doing this. Even as you go moving through different responsibilities, the fundamental core in terms of your skills, for example, interpersonal relationships or communication. There are certain skills, I'm talking about the softer skills, I'm talking about the attitudes also. The attitude of giving it your all. No matter what it is. Some of my regular day-to-day jobs will be very, very routine, mundane, okay? But if I don't do that, like you were mentioning, if I don't do that, I think nothing else will matter. That's like a hygiene factor. It is assumed that it is being done. It is only on top of it that you're asking about what are your other special attributes that he is bringing to the table. For example, I'll tell you, in promotions, one of the questions that we ask is, how is he performing now? You're talking about he can take on that higher responsibility. But how is he doing it now? How is his attitude? Only if he is doing well here, will he or she be ever considered for the next higher level in the first place. I can't be looking at the shiny object and say, hey, I want that, I want that, I want that. I got something, I know about that. But the point is, there are some of the hardcore competencies that you need to have, irrespective of which organization, where you're working. Those hardcore competencies, or what you call as the base level competencies, must be, to me, I think that is where I think articulation of those competencies would be required in the organization. For us to be able to say, hey, in 88 GB, these are foundational competencies that I would want everybody to have. And we need to define those things, irrespective of anything. Only if these things are met with, because that is required. It's not that I like it, so I want to have it. It's not that. If it's not there, it is going to pose a risk to the company, to the business. Unless we are all aligned on that, we will be failing somewhere else. So as an organization, my point would be that, for the individual, if I don't get those foundational competencies right and I'm good at that, I can't hope to grow further. Number one. From the organization side, it will be in the fit of things for me to articulate and define those foundational competencies, clearly talk about it in every department out here, creatives or admin or project management or business development, in whichever area that we are in, we need to talk about that in terms of its relevance to that particular function so that everybody understands that. Whether you like it or not, I may just jump to another organization which is shining. But very soon I will know that there also the same thing will be required. We cannot be blind to that. So that is what would be the important thing for us to move towards, and I should ensure that I don't carry such blindness in myself in terms of my aspirations on career growth. Grounded aspiration, that is what I would say. Grounded on foundational competencies, aspirational in terms of the new age competency that I'm building on to myself. That's the way it is.
Firstly, I would like to thank both of you for taking time, and it's been a long time request asking you to have a webinar with you, and we were very curious to attend it, and I think it was really worth it, and we have a lot of things cleared and expressed today throughout the session, and we feel a little refreshed after the session. We give the credits to you completely, and we are just looking back for the next section also to be conducted soon. Thank you so much, Smriti, and thank you, Senthil sir, for this wonderful opportunity. We loved being in the session.
Pleasure is equally mine and Semi's, basically. Thank you very much. Thanks for the opportunity, Arjun, and everybody else.